Does this look familiar? What are we waiting for? A miracle? Isn't it time we do something different? We must work together, capitalizing on what each of us does best. We must be the change we want to see in the world. So where do we start? We must begin by examining the demographic trends impacting our world today and the emergence of a new economic order. Consider this. The high-income countries inhabited by 15% of the world's population are shrinking. Birth rates are low, while the population is aging. This is an efficient and productive community challenged by low market demand. Meanwhile, in mid- and low-income countries representing 85% of the world's citizens, birth rates remain high. This is a young and growing community with enormous potential, but these countries are challenged with low purchasing power. In order to maintain and increase their standards of living, high-income countries must produce and sell more goods and services, amidst a certain decline in their own consumers, which leads us to the inevitable dilemma: how will they maintain economic prosperity? Considering the far-fetched probability of further expanding borders or cloning people, we are left with only a single viable economic solution. We must build the purchasing power of the mid- and low-income countries in order to create a vast new market for goods and services, all the while ensuring this new market commits to business excellence via efficient and transparent operations. The key is to de-risk doing business among the high, mid- and low-income countries within our global value chains, thus enlarging the global economic pie instead of competing on the same one. The facts are clear. We simply can no longer make empty promises. The time to act is now. So how can we de-risk doing business and rebalance the world economy to achieve sustainable economic growth? It is imperative that we implement what technology makes possible today in order to achieve real economic integration. But before we look into the technology needed to bring about such change, we must first tackle today's clear diminishing trust between G20 policymakers and the real economy participants. We need to ensure that G20 actions meet the economic aspirations of the world's citizens, so that we can change this pattern of diminishing trust and work together to capitalize on what each of us does best within our own capabilities and jurisdictions. This is how GCell, a Swiss-based non-profit public-private partnership with 15 years of research and development, has played a central role in the B20-G20 adoption of the digital economy as a key policy directive to achieve sustained economic growth. GCell's implementable policy formula, which entails 3 interconnected steps, starts by selecting the most common and comprehensive denominator of tangible and quantifiable policies that have a rapid and direct positive impact on the real economy. The first step commenced in 2015, when the G20 adopted the digital economy as a policy initiative introduced by GCell in 17 out of the 25 key B20 policy recommendations. Then in 2016, the G20 leaders adopted the Digital Economy Development and Cooperation Initiative, while in 2017 and for the first time, a digitalization task force was established to focus on digital economy implementation. In conclusion, today, global leaders have embraced the digital economy as a common and comprehensive denominator for the implementation of policies. The second step of paramount importance is to ensure the proposed policy benefits are validated by listening to the voice of the real economy participants impacted by such policies. That is the foundation of the G20's Nations Case Study, designed to reshape the trajectory of the digital economy in order that it may serve as the roadmap to implement the recommendations by policymakers. Through a world standard assessment involving more than 70 G20 ministries, NGOs, IGOs and academia, The G20 Nations Case Study has yielded staggering results. Can you imagine that 90.4% of the G20 trade participants have no integrated system? While 94.5% have commonly agreed on the digital tools required to do a better job and want the digital economy platform proposed by GCEL. Which leads us to step 3. Once we validate the policy benefits at the ground level, we must secure the related industry resources for rapid implementation of the required digital tools based upon the voice of the real economy participants. So far, we have secured the commitments of the world's top technology companies, servicing over 60% of the world's GDP, with more than 2.6 million experts, to collectively deliver upon the policymakers' recommendations and meet the needs of the world's citizens at no cost to the end user. This is not just another global initiative. This is the next big thing. For the first time in history, the real digital economy is being introduced by GCEL, providing the required digital tools to connect our economies, de-risk business transactions between nations, and rebalance the world economy, benefiting over 7 billion people around the globe. Today, we are witnessing the birth of a major industry, the digital economy industry, twice as big as the gold and oil industries put together. By harnessing the power of today's 21st century technology that unites and delivers e-commerce, e-finance, e-insurance and e-logistics to the world, free of cost to the end user, we will connect the strengths of the world community, creating well-being across humanity. This global initiative will decrease trade costs, ease access to finance, increase global trade, and provide a new services industry market opportunity, resulting in a significant increase in the world's GDP and the creation of more than 300 million manufacturing, agriculture, and services jobs. This program is global in scope and offsets geopolitical, monopolistic, and data privacy concerns, thanks to the broad global support and participation of the world's public and private sectors. We are at a turning point, and the world demands change, in which we must all partake. The test of our will is whether we can truly embrace disruptive change for the benefit of all, rather than repeat the actions of self-interest and protectionism that have locked the world into its current economic state. Let us step out of our comfort zones and take affirmative action, so that we may make the first step towards reversing the diminishing trust in our world by creating the next big thing for mankind, starting now and delivering sustainable economic growth benefiting generations to come. Join us.